Imagine this. You get paid, and there's no tax taken out. Sounds crazy, right? No more deductions, no more complicated tax returns, just pure earnings in your pocket. That's the potential reality if the US eliminated income taxes. Instead of the government taking a chunk of your paycheck, you'd keep every cent you earn. No more filling out complicated forms or stressing about deductions. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with the IRS every year. Instead of relying on income tax, the government would get its revenue from tariffs, basically taxes on imported goods. This means that every time a product enters the country, it gets taxed. This idea isn't as outlandish as it seems. In fact, it's been proposed by some as a way to simplify the tax system and make it more efficient. Some politicians and economists argue it could boost the US economy. They believe that by eliminating income taxes, people would have more money to spend and invest. They say it would encourage people to work more and businesses to invest more. With more disposable income, consumer spending could skyrocket, driving economic growth. But is it really that simple? There are many factors to consider, such as how tariffs would impact the cost of goods and the overall economy. Let's dive into this radical idea and see what it could mean for everyday Americans. How would it affect your daily life, your spending habits, and your financial planning? Buckle up, because we're about to explore a world without income taxes, where tariffs rule the day. It's a concept that could change everything we know about taxation. It's going to be a wild ride. Stay tuned as we unravel the possibilities and challenges of a nation without paychecks. Okay, so how would this whole tariff thing work? Let's break it down step by step. Basically, the US would become a giant Costco. Imagine a place where you can buy everything in bulk, but with a twist. You want that fancy German car? Be ready to pay a hefty tariff at the border. This means higher costs for imported luxury items. Same goes for that Chinese-made smartphone or that bottle of French wine. Anything imported would come with an extra cost. The idea is that these tariffs would generate enough revenue to fund the government, replacing income tax. Imagine not having to file those dreaded tax returns every year. Supporters argue that it would protect American jobs and encourage domestic production. More jobs could mean a stronger economy. Think about it. If imported goods become more expensive, people might be more likely to buy American-made products. This could boost local businesses. But there's a catch, isn't there always? Higher prices could be a significant downside. Higher tariffs could lead to higher prices for consumers on everything from clothes to electronics. This could make everyday shopping more expensive. And that brings us to the big question. Would Americans be willing to pay more for their stuff in exchange for not paying income tax? It's a trade-off that requires careful consideration. Subscribe for more videos. I focus on providing valuable, practical and interesting information that can improve people's lives. Let's be honest, seeing more money in your paycheck would be pretty sweet. Imagine the thrill of opening that envelope or checking your bank account and seeing a bigger number than usual. It's a moment of pure joy and satisfaction. No more government taking a chunk of your hard-earned cash before you even see it. You'd finally get to enjoy the full fruits of your labor without that sinking feeling of seeing deductions. You keep every penny you earn. Every single cent stays with you, giving you the freedom to decide how to spend or save it. Want to buy that new gaming console? Go for it. No more second-guessing or waiting for a sale. Thinking about finally taking that dream vacation? You do you. The world is your oyster and you can explore it without financial stress. This newfound financial freedom could be a major boost for the economy. With more money in everyone's pockets, spending would likely increase. People would have more disposable income, which means more spending, which means more economic growth. Businesses would thrive and new opportunities would emerge. Sounds like a win-win, right? More money for you and a stronger economy for everyone. Well, hold on a second. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Remember those tariffs we talked about? They could have a significant impact. That extra money in your pocket might not go as far as you think if the price of everything skyrockets. Higher tariffs can lead to increased costs for goods and services. That's the trade-off: bigger paychecks, but potentially higher costs of living. So, while you might have more money initially, you could end up spending more on everyday items. Remember when everything was made in America? Yeah, me neither. But a tariff-heavy system could bring those days back, sort of. With imported goods becoming more expensive, American companies would have an incentive to produce more goods domestically. This could lead to a resurgence in American manufacturing, creating jobs and boosting the economy. Imagine a future where Made in America is the norm, not the exception. It's a tantalizing prospect. However, there's a flip side. Relying too heavily on tariffs could stifle innovation and competition. Without the pressure of cheaper imports, American companies might not have the same incentive to innovate and keep prices low. Plus, other countries could retaliate with their own tariffs, hurting American businesses that rely on exports. Eliminating income taxes and relying on tariffs is a radical idea. It could fundamentally reshape the American economy and our place in the world. On the one hand, it could lead to greater economic freedom, higher wages, and a resurgence in American manufacturing. On the other hand, it could also result in higher prices, trade wars, and slower economic growth. It's a gamble with potentially huge consequences, both positive and negative. So what do you think? Is a world without income taxes a utopian dream or a recipe for disaster? It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but one thing's for sure, it's a conversation worth having.